I want to begin by extending our appreciation and thanks to Atlantic Pilotage Authority, Tony, and to the Halifax Shipping Association who are sponsoring this morning's breakfast. We appreciate both of your support. I want to also take this opportunity to thank the Gateway Council and the Greater Halifax Partnership for sponsoring our opening reception last evening. It was great to see everyone there. As well, thank you to NICOM IT Solutions for sponsoring the golf event yesterday. Today we have a great lineup, starting with this morning with Minister Ashfield giving remarks on behalf of the Government of Canada. The business sessions will be very interesting, as they always are, and then we have Andy Ellis of Walmart for our keynote luncheon today. I think all of these opportunities tie very nicely into our theme, which is growth and innovation. I would like to specifically take the opportunity to thank Government of Canada and Minister Ashfield for their support in our Atlantic Gateway projects. These projects are key to our ongoing competitiveness as a port. They are progressing well, I'm happy to say, and on budget. I also want to thank Minister Ashfield for recognition of Atlantic Gateway as a trade and transportation hub for Canada. We look forward to working together with Transport Canada, ACOA, and all supply chain partners in the future to continue to work on global marketing of the Atlantic Gateway. I'd like to quickly also recognize Peter Hogan, who's here from ACOA. Peter, thank you. And all staff from ACOA who continue to partner with us. Now I'd like to introduce Minister Ashfield to you, who is Minister of Fisheries and Oceans and Minister responsible for Atlantic Gateway. Minister Ashfield was first elected to the House of Commons in 2008 and re-elected in 2011. Prior to his election, Minister Ashfield served in the New Brunswick Legislative Assembly. From 1999 to 2003, he served as Deputy Speaker of the Legislature and served as Provincial Minister of Natural Resources from 2003 to 2006. Prior to entering politics, Minister Ashfield was active in local, provincial, and national school trustee associations. He has also held senior positions in local companies and has owned and operated his own business. We're very pleased to welcome Minister Ashfield to Halifax and specifically to the Halifax Seaport. Minister.
Well, thank you, Mark. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. It is a pleasure to be here. Karen, thank you as well. The great job that you do. Also a couple of MLAs. I understand Leonard Prey, I just met him earlier on. He's here today. And of course, my old friend, Jamie Bailey, he's here as well, leader of the official opposition. It is a pleasure to be here to help celebrate Port Days 2011 and mark a period of significant progress for the Port of Halifax and for all of Atlantic Canada. This progress is reflected in your theme for this event, growth and innovation. Two words that are also defining our government's policies in building the future of Canada's economy. A focus on growth and innovation means that we're mindful and cautious of the current state of the global economy, but we are here and committed to looking forward into the future and the opportunities that are on our horizon. And for Atlantic Canada, there are many opportunities on our horizon. Our government believes that Atlantic Canada is uniquely positioned to capture increased trade as a gateway to North American markets. As global shipping routes change and Canada pursues important international trade agreements, the Atlantic region will benefit from strengthened transportation infrastructure and trade promotion. In fact, we are already seeing how Atlantic Canada is benefiting from investments through our Atlantic Gateway portfolio. Every dollar invested in infrastructure improvements to Atlantic Canada is an investment that supports the Gateway. In total, the federal government commitment to the region's transportation infrastructure will be in excess of $1.2 billion. We're seeing significant positive progress as a result of those investments right here in Halifax. Our government is very pleased to see the ongoing work to expand the capacity of the Port of Halifax to handle growing demand. The Richmond Terminal's multi-purpose gateway extension project will upgrade and enhance value-added cargo handling services. And while the Port of Halifax can already accommodate the world's largest vessels with the expansion of its South End terminal, the port will have the operational flexibility to accommodate 2 Super Postmax Panamax vessels at once, just in time for the anticipated expansion of the Panama Canal. It's encouraging to see the private sector capitalizing on the advantages we already have here in Atlantic Canada. Moreover, we expect that demand to grow. According to the second quarter 2011 statistics from the Port of Halifax, port tonnage handled here grew by 11% over the same period in 2010. And a significant portion of this growth was in break bulk cargo. There are also new services discovering the advantages Halifax provides, such as the short sea cargo shipping service to Boston and Portland, Maine. And with our government's commitment to strategically market the Atlantic Gateway internationally, we will reach new audiences and discover new opportunities. Marketing the Atlantic Gateway is our highest priority for attracting further international trade that will benefit both the Atlantic economy and Canada as a whole. The Atlantic Gateway has certain advantages in attracting trade traffic due to its proximity to the European Union, Southeast Asia, and the Indian subcontinent via the Suez Canal. Up to $5 million will be dedicated to marketing as announced in the Atlantic Gateway and Trade Corridor Strategy in March of 2011. This funding will help tell about our competitive advantages here in Atlantic Canada through trade shows and international trade missions. We'll keep telling the world that what our gateway offers. Natural deep waters served by safe, secure, and efficient highway and rail networks that reach across North America. International airports with growing air cargo capabilities and world-class cruise facilities. And I'm happy to see the increasing sense of partnership and cooperation when it comes to maximizing the potential of Atlantic Canada as a gateway to North American markets. The Atlantic Gateway strategy announced last March was developed by federal and provincial governments and the private sector. It addresses the priorities of strengthened infrastructure as well as promoting the region as an attractive option for increased trade. Our government has been proud to support the development of the Atlantic Gateway and the private sector industries that drive our economy. Like you, we understand that it's important to take a long-term view of progress, and we'll continue to work in partnership to achieve our goals. Atlantic Canada is uniquely poised to seize global trade opportunities and become a preferred route for goods and people coming into and leaving North America. We see the value in partnership, a coordinated effort not only with the Atlantic provinces, but with private industry as well. There's much to celebrate and much to discuss as we move into a new and exciting chapter for this port and this region. I look forward to our work together as we continue to build a stronger, more competitive, and more prosperous Atlantic Canada. Thank you very much for the very kind invitation to be here today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your proceedings throughout the day, and guest speakers as well. So thank you very much. Merci.
Minister, on behalf of all of us here in Halifax and our visitors, we want to share with you a small token of our appreciation for you coming here this morning, taking the time from your schedule, and of course sharing with us the importance to the Government of Canada of the Atlantic Gateway. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce to you Brian Titus of Garrison Brewery to offer a few remarks on the Halifax Seaport and to draw a winner for a Halifax Seaport basket. Brian?
You'll be glad to know I don't sing or dance. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Apparently, I'm the fun and games portion of the morning here, so bear with me. This is really why we're all here, the gift basket. Let's just be honest. So I was asked to say a few words about what it's like to be down here, how things have changed, and so I guess a couple of thoughts. I wasn't sure quite how to approach this. Do I talk about how our business has changed down here in the port? I could certainly do that. We've been here for 5.5 years. We were one of the original, anchor tenants. The anchor hasn't taken us all the way down. Actually, the anchor's taken us up, which is great. We've seen our business triple since we've been here. Pretty exciting. Makes me look like I didn't do my numbers very well when I take a look at the space that we have, and I'm kind of thinking, did I miss a zero there, or how is it that we're kind of running out of space? But that's reality. The space has been very good for us. The area itself has grown dramatically in the traffic side of things. We've seen our distribution increase from 2 provinces to 8 provinces. As of 2 weeks ago, we started shipping to PEI, one of the closest provinces, and it's taken us the longest amount of time to get there. We now brew pretty much around the clock. We've got 3 brewers full-time, and so it's an exciting development on our side. We know that we're not the only business that's in that kind of scenario. I think a lot of people have seen a real increase in visibility once they've moved down here. We have some phenomenal neighbors. We're now surrounded by architects, by engineers, by film producers, by artists. It just goes on and on and on. It's a real exciting, vibrant place to be. And we now produce over 20 brands annually. So yeah, these are interesting times juggling, particularly in the fall and harvest season. And actually, I'm throwing in a little extra bottle for the gift pack, a beer that we're releasing later on today. So. Do I talk about the transition just in general in terms of the visitorship and the area, how it's evolved? I can remember touring the site in 2005, and you honestly had to have vision when you looked around at the potential possibilities. And I can remember a couple of people pulling me aside after and saying that I must be sort of having visions to even think about coming down here. It was so undeveloped. The potential was there, but you really had to look carefully to see it. It's a thrill to see it gradually, one business at a time, come around. Kennard Center was probably 6 months behind us. Certainly the farmers market was not something that we saw. A lot of people figure that I've got a crystal ball and I can see ahead and I had this all planned out, but honestly I'm just kind of rolling with the wonderful changes every day, and it's exciting to come into work and see what else is gonna happen. And obviously I'm not the only one who had vision in coming down here. The people from the port have put an incredible amount of vision and have backed it up too, which is wonderful to see. So we're certainly quite happy with that. The increase in whether it's tourists, whether it's locals coming down for the farmers market. When Kennard Center has an event, obviously that benefits us. It's traffic. Pier 21 Museum receiving its national status, fantastic. And we have a ton of people that now come through, and they'll look for directions. We'll tell them where to go, and we'll make sure that they come back after for a sample of beer. We all work together around here. But I think beyond those things, I suppose as any self-respecting entrepreneur would do, I'm not going to talk about those things. I'm going to talk about shamelessly promoting an event that we're hosting here next weekend. And so the 3rd annual Halifax Oktoberfest is happening next Saturday, and I bring it up not just as a shameless promotion, but also to kind of illustrate what's going on down here on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. There's so much happening, and in fact, my main point of contact on this, Cindy McNeil. I think I'm just about pushing her over the line because in addition to our event, there's 2 events that are already going down here, plus the farmers market. And I said, oh yeah, by the way, there's a group of runners that want to do a coordinated run that ends up at the Oktoberfest. And there's kind of that moment of silence when I realized that perhaps we pushed too far. But you know, it's exciting to see these things going on. And I can remember talking to Krista in the very beginning, a number of years ago, and almost sort of taking it up as a challenge that you know, the road that's right beside us, between us and the seawall, is called Festival Road, or at one point it was kind of conceived as Festival Road. Well, I took that as a challenge because what a wonderful space that is, and what a great concept to have people gathering for festivals and events down in this area. It gives them a chance to see the other businesses, to embrace the waterfront. I mean, my gosh, the waterfront is right there, and it was undeveloped. So, fantastic job in following that through. So this year we're hoping for upwards of 2,000 people at the Oktoberfest. In fact, the space that we're in right now may very well become the Oktoberfest space, because I really see that as a Halifax gathering and an event. And you know, if that means that we need to shift around to accommodate, then that's fantastic. I also run the Halifax Seaport Beer Fest with a partner of mine, and what started off as about 800 people 5 years ago, this year was over 4,000 people, and 2 nights and 200 beers, and absolutely an amazing event. But you know, I don't make any apologies for that. It's complicated, but it's fantastic. People rave about it and now plan their vacations around coming to Halifax based on that event. So you know, that's what we're trying to do. And I know we're surrounded by like-minded businesses and groups and that. Anyways, enough about all that. I'm going to take the silly hat off. So we have a fantastic gift basket here, and I'm not going to go through in absolute detail everything. I was expecting probably 4 or 5 items, but even I get surprised at how many tenants and such are down here. You know, the list is literally that long. But fantastic items, many of them handmade, handcrafted, one of a kind, so that's great. Amos Pewter, Ornament of the Year, Compass Rose. We have loose tea from the Tea Brewery, a great vendor down at the Seaport Market. Riven Woodworks, hand-carved maple bear claws. I think you can eat those. I would try, but I won't be receiving this, unfortunately. The Halifax Citadel print, that's designs by Deneen. We have a book from Carrefour Atlantique Emporium, Pier 21. It's a book, Pier 21 Gateway That Changed Canada. We have a handcrafted mug and some blueberry jam from Jennifer's Nova Scotia. Java Factory, our great neighbors next door, with some coffee samplers. There's some microbrewery here, Garrison, I believe it's called. They have a mixed 6-pack. We have 2 beers in it as well. One is, in addition to the mixed 6-pack, one is our Grand Baltic Porter, just won golds at the Canadian Brewing Awards on Friday, which is fantastic. Second time that we've won that award with that beer at that set of awards. And then just for fun, I'm going to throw in an extra beer, and this is our Three Fields Harvest. This is being released today, as I said. It's actually brewed with all maritime barley malt, which is phenomenal. I didn't think we were anything less than about 5 years away from that happening. It's also brewed with fresh, green, what they call wet hops, harvested from 4 different fields in Nova Scotia. 100% Nova Scotia hops that are in there. Once again, honestly, didn't think that we would be at this point for another few years. So it's a thrill to produce this beer. Last year we released it with 3 fields, hence the name. 2 from Nova Scotia, 1 from New Brunswick, and regular malt from different places around the world. This year, 100% maritime malt and 100% maritime Nova Scotian hops. So I'll just throw that in there. Thank you. And beyond that, we have local made candies, maple syrup, Island Beach Company, great long-term tenant. They've been here for longer than us. Del Sol, a recent addition, color-changing frisbee. There's still time to play with that before the snow flies. NASCAD's Seeds Gallery, some fantastic stuff coming out of NASCAD with the students. And then finally, a guide to craft and art in Nova Scotia, NSCCD's Mary E. Black Gallery. So, Honourable Minister, if you'd like to do the draw, you're almost finished. Yes. Oh, no, right here. Well, whatever works for you. It's just one to beer. Me too.
You hold it, I'll draw it.
All right, excellent.
Geez, I can't get my fingers in that.
There you go.
Holy
Just,
dang.
you just lick one and just.
Is that the way it works?
Yeah.
Sure like taste.
I've never done this before.
Sure like tasting
You can
beer,
tell.
huh?
Yeah.
Number 227.
There you go. Oh, well, okay. No, fair enough then. On the handy dandy little pamphlet that's a full color pamphlet.
Hope it's not this.
Yeah. Number 227. 227. Under the I-5, under the I-5. Do we have a winner? Yes, we do. All right, excellent. Come on up, sir. Cheers.
Do I take it with me? Do I carry it with me?
You may need help.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll take it. Thank you.
There you go. Awesome. Thank you.
Brian, thank you for coming this morning. Thank you for your very entertaining presentation, and thank you to you and many others who at various times over the past 5 to 7 years had to make a bit of a leap of faith in the Halifax seaport, and I hope that it's been a good leap of faith for you, and I think it is. We have just a very small token of our appreciation for you coming out this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, I think we all know, if we didn't already, where we can buy some neat items and some fresh local produce, meat, and everything else almost. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out this morning, and thank you again to our sponsors for this morning's breakfast, Atlantic Pilotage Authority, and Halifax Shipping Association. Please take your time to finish your coffee. I think we're underway again at 9 o'clock, Karen, if I'm not mistaken. And there will be an announcement when the business sessions are about to begin. Thank you very much.